All right, we just came out of, I think they call this, is it Great Caverns? Mega Caverns in Louisville, Kentucky. We just did Lights Under Louisville 2018. First time we've ever come up here and saw this. I'll have to say it was pretty cool. Tour lasted about 30 minutes. They had lots and lots of displays to look at. So if you're in or around the Louisville area, I highly recommend. This is a pretty cool thing to do for Christmas. So let's get back to the workshop. Hey, welcome back to another episode of Camp and Camera. This is Black Friday 2018, day after Thanksgiving. And that means stay away from Walmart and all the shopping malls and come out to the workshop and work on the teardrop. So, I just got through sanding the back of each door. I put 2 coats of what I call the mix on the outside of each door where they're going to be underneath the exterior aluminum sheeting. The mix is 1 part oil-based polyurethane to 3 parts oil-based mineral spirits. I did that, let it soak in really well. Then I came back and I did like a 1 to 2 part, or 1 to 3. I think it was a 1 to 2 part. And so I just wanted to seal the wood up. It probably would have took more if I would have used like a softer wood like pine, but I used a Baltic birch, so it didn't take much. Just took 2 coats. So I let that soak in, dry. I sanded that, and I've trimmed up the perimeter with the router. The inside of the doors, I put about 2 or 3 coats of oil-based polyurethane on there, and just sanded with some really fine sandpaper between each coat. I think I was using about 220 grit sandpaper, so that turned out well. Now it's time to cut the aluminum sheeting that'll go on the outside of each door, and I'm probably going to sand one side of the sheeting and prep it for paint, because I've decided that I want to paint the doors green. I want to paint the doors green and the fenders green, and that'll go along with my trim, my green trim that I'm putting on the camper. So I'll cut the sheeting to size, trim it, and I'll get it prepped for paint. And then the next step will be to start putting the aluminum, or bending the aluminum trim to go around the exterior of the door. So yeah, let's get started. The aluminum sheeting I'm using on the exterior of the door for the skin is the same kind of aluminum sheeting that I used on the body of the camper. Actually, these are just scrap leftover pieces that I had from skinning the outside of the camper. The one side is a white painted, and the other side is a ivory color. The ivory color actually has a protective plastic film on it. My goal, like I said earlier, is to paint the doors green. However, I do want to see what it's going to look like in the ivory color, just in case I like that. So I'm actually doing 2 things here. When I laid the door template, or the door core, down on the aluminum skin here, I put the skin face down, and that's going to do 2 things for me. One is it's going to let the ivory color be to the outside like it's supposed to be, and I was able to trace my lines on the inside. And the other thing is, by cutting it face down, again using these shears, and I know I said this in a previous video, when you cut face down with your shears, the middle prong of the shear pulls up, and it makes the jagged side, or the sharp side of the cut, to the back, and the smooth side to the face. So if I do decide that I want to use that ivory color instead of painting it green, it's already nice and smooth. So that, it's kind of a double benefit for me. So let's get to cutting this out. So it's just time to see how it fits on the door core. So as it turns out, I didn't cut within the lines as well as I wanted to with the shears. So I'm still going to have to trim up the outside with a router. I guess that answers why I never could color within the lines when I was a kid either. Okay, now that I've used a router on the inside and out, I know that the aluminum is exactly the same size as the door core, so it worked out well. I was going to try just to trim it with the shears and not use the router, but I had to use it, and in the end it was probably the best thing to do. So now it is time to do the other door. I didn't have enough of those little metal cutting wheels for the rotary tool or the Dremel tool left to cut the corners of the window, so I went ahead and just cut the whole thing pretty much with the router. I did some rough trimming with my shear, but I did everything else with the router, and it just takes so much longer because you have to stop and take a flathead screwdriver and dig the molten aluminum out of the carbide bit every so often. So I'm glad that's done. So now I just need to file up these rough edges. Alright, so that's another thing knocked out. The door cores now have aluminum skins cut for them, so it's time to either trim the doors out in aluminum or paint them in trim. I need to make a decision about what color, if I want to leave them the ivory color or if I want to paint them the green to match some of the other items on the camper. So that's something I've got to think about over the next few hours. And hey, happy Thanksgiving. This is Black Friday. Hope you had a good Thanksgiving Day yesterday, and appreciate you watching. If you haven't subscribed to Camp and Camera, please do so. If you like the video, click that like button. It sure helps me out. And until next time, take care, and we'll see you later.